Well, many of you will be getting paid on Friday. It might feel like good news, but the early pay day also means you'll have to wait 40 days before you get your next paycheck. It's a Tuesday, and our resident personal finance journalist, Maya Fisher-French, talks to us about how to dodge January blues. Maya, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. I mean, this is an age-old conversation when we're having, conversations around 40 days till payday, but every single year it appears as though people still get it wrong.
Absolutely, and we see every January a spike in the payday loans. So people suddenly waking up on the 1st of January and realizing they have no money to pay the bills and going out and borrowing. So I did a column this week, and I really just said, if there's one thing, I want just one thing you're going to do right this season, is just to not land up in that situation. Don't start January with more debt, simply because you haven't planned. So really, and that's the problem is that we get the money in our account, and if we don't allocate it and make it go somewhere very quickly, we spend it. I'm equally guilty of doing that. If there's a balance in my account and I see something I want, I spend it. So what I really recommend you do is try and pay all of those December bills. The ones that are going to come up at the end of December, pay them now as you get your salary. Make those bills disappear. If you have debit orders that you can't change, at least put that money into a savings account linked to your bank accounts. All the bank accounts have quick, easy transfers into a savings account, and just leave it there. But please remember to transfer it back into your transactional account before the debit order goes off. Also, any bills that are due in January, a lot of parents like myself who've got school fees coming up, make those payments go out the account. And that's really the best way to do it, is just to plan. Take the money out of your account so that you can't spend it.
Maya, what's a smart thing to do with those that will be receiving bonuses?
So right now, possibly investing in load shedding equipment. I'm doing this entire broadcast using my UPS because we are in load shedding right now. The best investment I could possibly have made, I can assure you. But other than that, a lot of people debate whether they should be paying off debt or investing with their bonuses. And while paying off debt sounds like it makes a lot of sense, we tend to get into this cycle where we spend all year and then hope and wait for the bonus to solve our problems, instead of perhaps getting into a mindset of living within our means. So maybe this year, choose a debt, but your smallest debt. Pay it off with a portion of your bonus and close that account. If it's a store card or whatever it is, cut it up and promise yourself you won't use it again. And the money that you were paying into that store card or that repayment every month, start adding to another debt and start this sort of process, we call it snowballing, where you pay each debt off consecutively. As you are settling one, you start paying and adding to another. And then take that little bit of extra money perhaps and start either putting it into an emergency fund so that you can make it through this next year, or even start a tax-free savings account with it. So I would like people to take their bonuses and perhaps start thinking a little bit about long-term investing and learning to rather live within their means month to month.
I like the fact that you mentioned this issue around a rescue fund, because oftentimes when life happens to us, Maya, we're also caught unaware, and then we're caught stuck needing some kind of working cash to keep us going. And if you don't have that emergency fund, there's nothing we can do.
Exactly, and in fact, it's one of the reasons people never get out of debt. They say, I'm going to pay off my credit card, but then an emergency happens and they have to go back into their credit card. I always advocate that before you start accelerating your debt repayments, you first build up at least 10,000 Rand in an emergency fund. Over time, you want to build it up to 3 months of expenses, but at least start with that before you even start accelerating those debt repayments.
Maya Fisher-French, we're going to leave it there for today, just giving us the latest in terms of how exactly you can start having that culture of saving, particularly when the temptation of spending that bonus or spending that check actually arises. And how do we better take care of ourselves this festive season?